Hello, beauties. Welcome back to the vlog. What a week it's been. Today, I had the opportunity to hear about all sorts of cool things happening in STEM and CTE programs around the state of Oregon, including here in Lane County. There's a really cool mentorship program and externship program coming up for students and teachers who are going to come into companies like mine. So I'm really stoked about that. That was really wonderful to see. Also ran over to Rotary as fast as I could to do an infoflexion and talk about and greet that group, which is great. And now I'm back here before I do other things. So it's just been a crazy week, and you're going to see me from the road next week as well. So this week we've been talking about how to be likable, and I started the week with sarcasm, but I'm going to end it with seriousness because that's how I roll. And we talked about sincerity and connection, the importance of really being connected to other people, having sincere interactions, caring about what they say, and not being so self-focused that you're only looking at what you want to say next. We've talked about empathy and understanding, how that can be challenging, but it can be learned, and some of the correlation between companies and performance that have high empathy, which was really interesting to me. We've talked a little bit about gratitude. Yesterday, we posted a big thank you to Lane Workforce Partnership, who has been instrumental in some of the programs like CTE that are happening in counties like ours. And today, I want to talk about self-awareness and acceptance. And this is going to be fairly short because it's a very difficult topic to cover in just a couple minutes. So I'm just going to cover a couple points. One is that for me, being self-aware is, number one, being open to feedback and being able to take both positive and critical feedback and accept them both, weigh them, decide what you think about them, keep some, leave the rest, and then apply that and carry on. So being able to be open to feedback is really important in terms of self-awareness. Another one is to be aware of what we might call strengths and weaknesses that we talked about in a previous vlog. To know where I'm really strong and where I have success, and also to know the things that are easy for me that I might fall back on and use as a crutch instead of expanding into other areas where I could use some improvement. Understanding my weaknesses and areas that need to be improved. Many people who have worked with me will say that I'm a flawed person, and I say that about myself, and I say I've got a lot of things I need to work on, and there's a few things that I do well. And somebody recently said to me, it's okay to have empathy for yourself too. And I think that's so great, and that leads us into this bit of acceptance. Accepting who you are, warts and all, as they say, is such a difficult thing. I don't know if I will ever be in a place, even if I get the privilege to live to be old and gray. I don't know if I'll ever be in a place where I fully 100% accept myself in all the ways that I am. I think there's always going to be a small part of me that's going to seek approval from other people and want to take the temperature of a room to see if I'm liked or if what I'm saying is being well received. And that's a piece of me. But knowing that can help me navigate those waters a lot better, and being able to accept that sometimes it is difficult for me to go into a room, including and often especially with my own team here at Lunar, for example, because I'm nervous about what they'll think and what they'll say, and will they accept what I have to say. And we can really get wrapped up in our own minds about that stuff and say, I want everyone to like me. I want everyone to be on board with my idea. I want everyone to come to consensus and to be happy and to get along and agree. And that's not real, And so if you're able to give yourself a little bit of a break, cut yourself a break and give yourself some credit that you have value and that what you're doing has worth. And if you can accept the good and the bad and the ugly and the whatever about yourself, you'll be a lot more successful. So for me, it's not about being likable. It's about knowing who I am, knowing where I can really shine, knowing where I need help, and then asking for that help, letting go of my fear, and moving forward. So we'll be talking about some other great topics. People have sent in some really great questions. Thank you, everyone who watches and who sends us comments and notes. We really appreciate you. We will see you next week.